If you don't already know, trap bars are a great alternative to a traditional barbell when it comes to your deadlifting. And that's because they're specifically designed to align the weight you're lifting with your center of gravity as opposed to holding a barbell out in front of you. So if you're looking for a new specialty bar for your home gym, you might want to consider the Rep Fitness Open Trap Bar. The open design right here is going to make it easier for you to do loaded carries or farmer's walks, whatever you want to call them, but it also opens up the possibility to do some alternating lunges as well. And plus, this is a rackable trap bar, so it's going to be compatible with your power rack or your squat rack, especially if you have a Rep Fitness one. That way you can do some squats, maybe even some bench presses with it if you want to. The built-in jack makes it super easy for you to load and unload your weighted plates. Plus it acts as a counterweight so the bar stays balanced at all times. I hope y'all are ready because I got a lot to talk about today, so let's get to it. What's up everybody, it's Jake back in the BarBend garage gym, and for today's video I've got the Rep Fitness Open Trap Bar in for review. If you don't know how this works, in this video today, I'm going to tell you guys everything you need to know about this piece of equipment, from the price and the features, as well as some pros and cons, and of course, who should or maybe should not add this to their home gym. Now, let's pump the brakes before I get going with all of that. I gotta let you know, we've reviewed a ton of trap bars on barbend.com, and we also made a best list. So if you want to browse our top picks, all you gotta do is search BarBend best trap bars. Our list is gonna pull right up for you, and you can find out for yourself which one cracks that #1 spot. Let's talk about what I like about the Rep Fitness Open Trap Bar. And I gotta kick this off by stating the obvious. I love the open design. It makes it so much easier to get in and out of the bar. You don't have a bar back here to step up and over like you do with a traditional hex trap bar, and that's just really nice. And especially because it's also gonna allow you to do additional exercises, as I was talking about, specifically those alternating lunges. That's just really nice. You also have this built-in jack right here, and that's just crucial in my opinion. It's how I have it set up right now, and it's gonna make things so much easier on you when you go to load and unload your weight plates. Now let's talk about these handles for a second. They're 28 millimeters in diameter, which is really nice. It's pretty much identical to a barbell. They're also fully knurled, and I really love this knurling pattern right here. It seems to be a volcano pattern, and that's really gonna give you the best grip possible. Real quick, if you don't know what volcano knurling is, so every single point right here, the knurling, it dips in like a volcano, so you have 4 points of contact on your hand. It's gonna give you pretty much the best grip you could ask for. All right, anyways, so that's just really nice. It gives you a really good grip. You also have 4 different options in terms of the handles. So we have the standard ones. There's a wide pair, a narrow pair, and rotating handles. So it's nice, you just kind of have some variety, and you can get some that are gonna suit your needs the best. So obviously you have 2 handles on each side. The top one sits 11 inches off the ground, which is gonna be great for anybody who's learning the proper deadlifting technique, or maybe you have a little bit of an ailment, injury you're dealing with. That's nice. And over time, if you wanna increase your range of motion, you can grab onto these bottom ones. They're 8 inches off the ground, so that just kind of helps you out a little bit, which is cool. The loading sleeves are 16.5 inches long, and that's a bit of a rarity when it comes to a trap bar. Most of them are shorter, and that kind of limits the amount of weight you can load onto one of these bad boys. And speaking of loadable weight, this trap bar can handle up to 1,300 pounds. I think it's 1,350, to be right on the nose with it. So that's really nice too, So if you're an elite lifter, that's, gonna be a really nice thing for you right there. And last thing here, this is a rackable trap bar. So as I mentioned earlier, it's gonna be compatible with your power rack or squat rack, especially a Rep Fitness one. And that's really nice. You can do some squats with this if you want to. Bench pressing might feel a little bit awkward at first because you're kind of having to do a different type of lift than you normally would with a barbell, but you definitely can squat with it. And there's also a little bit of knurling right here on this tubing. And it's not abrasive by any means, but it does give you a little bit of texture. That way the bar can sit on your upper back and it's not really gonna go anywhere. So that's just really cool too. All right, now when it comes to those potential cons you might run into, I really haven't been able to come up with very many. Let's talk about the money though. This trap bar is gonna run you around 400 bucks, and you're definitely paying for the innovative design right here, and it's pretty much one of a kind, but at the same time, you can get a traditional hex trap bar for about half the price. And And then also, I personally love the knurling on these handles, but might be a little bit too sharp for some people. You know, texture is all personal preference. So that's just another thing right there too. You know, you might not be too crazy about it. All right, so let's talk about some money. And once again, the Rep Fitness open trap bar is gonna run you right around 400 bucks. But if you go for those rotating handles, it's gonna run you around $470. I also want to mention, you do have the option of adding on multiple handles when you're going to do your purchase. So those rotating handles are gonna run you around 170 bucks, while the wide, narrow, and standard ones are gonna run you around $90. So, you know, 470 bucks for one piece of equipment is kind of a lot of money, and especially with a specialty bar. You know, yes, this one is, you know, pretty versatile. It's more versatile than a standard hex trap bar, but those standard hex trap bars are also about half the price. Now, when you do compare this one to other open trap bars out there, it's a little bit cheaper than some of those other options. So if you're dead set on getting an open trap bar for your home gym, this might be, you know, one of the best options regarding price. But, you know, when we're talking about versatility, you know what's more versatile than a trap bar? A barbell, which is also gonna run you around, you know, the same amount of money. So definitely just keep all of that in mind as you go to make your purchase. Okay, so let's talk about the build now and some of the features with the Rep Fitness open trap bar. So this bar is 84 inches long and it weighs right around 58 pounds. Plus, these chrome loading sleeves are 16.5 inches long. Now, let's talk about the handles really quick. They're 28 millimeters in diameter, which is really nice. You know, it's gonna fill up your palms. You're gonna get a nice grip. They're also fully knurled, which I just am ranting and raving about. I love it. The height of these handles are not gonna change depending on, you know, which ones you go with. So the top one's 11 inches off the ground, while the bottom one is 8 inches. It's nice how you can kind of increase that range of motion over time, or you know, maybe you don't want to. That's just nice. Now, the width is going to, in fact, vary, you know, depending on which handles you decide to go with. So the narrow handles will be 23 inches apart. The standard ones that we have are 25 inches apart. Those wide ones are 27 inches apart. And the rotating ones are a little over 26. I think it's 26.4 inches apart. So definitely keep that in mind, you know, that way you're able to really figure out, you know, which one suits you the best. And then obviously we gotta talk about the built-in jack. It's probably my favorite feature at the end of the day. It just makes it so much easier to, you know, A, get in and out of the trap bar, but also, you know, it's gonna make it so much easier for you to load and unload your weighted plates, because, you know, sitting up nice and tall like this, those plates are not gonna touch the ground at all. It just makes life so much easier. All right, y'all, I wanna give you a quick demo and a nice up close and personal look at all the fine features with this trap bar. Let's talk about, you know, the framework right here. You know, once again, this steel frame is powder coated. You know, it's gonna add to some rust protection and probably even some, you know, chip resistant. If it, you know, clanks in anything, you know, whatever. Anyways, so let's talk about this knurling right here. You got a little bit of a knurling pattern. Really only gonna come in handy whenever you know, go to do a back squat and keep this bar up on your upper back, but it might also help a little bit, you know, just to grab and kind of move it from A to B within your home gym, which is really nice. Now, speaking of knurling, I wanna talk about these handles. Once again, you know, I just cannot get enough of it. To me personally, it's kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, you know, not too abrasive, you know, not too passive. They're just right in my opinion, and that's obviously a really good thing. Especially, you know, as you're going to lift some heavy weight, you never want to be limited by your grip, so that's really good. So you have two different heights, obviously. You know, this top one right here is going to be 11 inches off the ground whenever you throw weight plates on. This bottom one is going to be 8 inches off the ground, you know, whenever you flip it, because you can do it both ways right here. Now, regardless of your, you know, handles you go for, wide, narrow, rotating, standard like we have, they're all gonna have, you know, 28 millimeter handles in diameter, and the height is gonna be the same of all of them. But that width obviously is gonna change, you know, all across the board. Now, this built-in jack is amazing, nothing short of amazing. It makes life so much easier on you as you're going to load and unload your plates, and even just storage too. It's the best way for it to be stored. So that's really nice too, you know, it just sits nice and sturdy right here. I mean, it's really not, it's not gonna fall over on its own, which is nice. Now, got your 16.5 inch chrome loading sleeves right here. Big fan of that too, because, you know, you're gonna be able to load more weight on this trap bar than a lot of other options that are out there. Now let's go ahead and throw some weight on there while I'm talking about it. And as you can see, you know, it just makes it so much easier because you don't have to worry about the plate, you know, getting stuck on the ground or whatever. But one thing, this trap bar did not come with any weight collars, so definitely get your own and toss them on there for your own protection. You definitely don't want that to slide off on you. All right, and then so this is really where it's cool. You know, we're 11 inches off the ground right here. Excuse me, 8 inches off the ground right here with this one. And if we flip it, that's when you're 11 inches off the ground, as you can see. So that's really nice. You know, you can just get up in position, get ready to go, and do your deadlifts. Now, I want to talk about how this is a rackable trap bar, really unique. Not every trap bar out there is like that, so just hang tight 1 second. All right, so just grab this bad boy right here, bring it on up. And that's what this is for right here, this little section. It's gonna fit on those J hooks, just really, really nice right there. So you can bench press with this trap bar. I found it to be a little bit awkward, so it might not be, you know, the best thing to do. You definitely can squat with it though. So I like putting my hands out here, and that's, remember you got that knurling right there. It's gonna sit right there on your upper back. You just walk on out and you're good to go. So, you know, there's just so much that you can do with this trap bar, so much so that I'm starting to run out of breath right now. And that's really what just would make it such a solid addition to your home gym. Okay, so who should purchase the Rep Fitness Open Trap Bar? Well, for starters, if you're new to deadlifting and you're wanting to learn the proper technique, which you definitely should, you don't want to get hurt, this is gonna be really nice for you, you know, especially with these elevated handles. And over time, you know, you can increase your range of motion, so that's really nice. It's also a really versatile product, so if versatility is your main factor, I think you're really gonna like the open design here. You know, it's gonna allow you to, like I said, it's rackable also, so you can do squats with it, you can do alternating lunges with it, you can prop your foot up on your weight bench, and you can do some Bulgarian split squats. I mean, there's a lot you can do here. And once again, once you compare the price of this trap bar to the other open trap bars that are on the market, this one's actually a little bit cheaper, which is another good thing going for it. All right, now what about those people who might not want to purchase this trap bar? Well, let's talk about money first. If you're on a tight budget, you know, you might not want to spend $400, maybe even close to $500, you know, $470 for those rotating handles on one piece of equipment. So definitely keep that in mind. We got to talk about available space too. So if you're tight on space, you know, 84 inches in length, this might not be the best option for you. And you can make the argument, you know, about storing it vertically, but since you have to assemble these sleeves and they're not welded together, you run that risk of wear and tear at an accelerated rate by storing it vertically and kind of having that pressure really where it shouldn't be. And then lastly, we got to talk about versatility. Yes, in regards to trap bars, this is about as versatile as it gets, but you know what's more versatile? A barbell, and that's either going to be around the same amount of money or it might even save you money, so definitely keep that in mind. That's all I have for you guys today on the Rep Fitness Open Trap Bar. There's a lot I like about this bad boy, you know, specifically the open design with that built-in jack. It makes it so easy for me to load and unload my plates. These fully knurled handles give me a sticky tack grip when I'm working out, and I really like the elevated handle as well. You know, it adds some variety and allows me to, you know, decrease my range of motion if I want to. Also, you know, these 16.5-inch loading sleeves just really get the job done for me. It's basically identical to a traditional barbell, and that's just something that I just personally love. Just remember, you know, this is a little bit pricey, so it might not be the best for everybody. Thanks for watching, y'all. I hope this video was really helpful and that I was able to tell you everything you need to know about this trap bar. As always, keep your eyes peeled for my next video, but for now, head over to barbend.com because we have a full written review ready for you to read it. All you gotta do is type in BarBend Rep Fitness Open Trap Bar Review. It'll pull right up and you'll be able to go over everything we discussed here today. You might even learn something new. I'll catch y'all next time.